Alright, I have a little bit of a gripe to pick with not only the English translations or the localization of Love and Deep Space, but also members of this community that don't think that these things are worth pointing out, especially since the things that I've pointed out in the past were like small little mistakes in translation. I had made a video here, the notice this marketing mistake. The Love and Deep Space team had released their live program talking about how the multi-character Wish banner was going to come in early August, whereas their social media post said that it was going to come after August. That confuses a lot of people. You don't see that happening in other gacha games, and if it does happen in other gacha games, there is an apology that's put out for the confusion because it helps players to know when future banners are going to come out, when you're saving diamonds, when you're saving resources to pull and to level up certain memories. Now, I had a few people saying that it could have just been a mistranslation. That is very, very true. And then I had somebody said that, this video is kind of clickbait. It's not a big deal. It is a big deal because if there is a mistake in the mistranslation in something like a live stream that goes out to multiple people, that, like, not even multiple people, you have 8.7k people on this who liked it and reacted to it. I can't see the amount of people that watched the live stream, but it's something that is widely spread out to the community because we're supposed to watch all of their marketing and understand what they're trying to give us in the game. And if the localization and the translation of the game is incorrect, then it's going to affect the entire game as a whole. All of the characters that we experience, all of the stories that we read, it's like experiencing a whole different character. So this post here by Revolutionary Bad 116 on the subreddit, the official subreddit for Love and Deep Space, says that LADS needs a better localization and translation. Okay, so there is also a post here on Twitter saying, dear EN translator for Love and Deep Space, if you performed worse than Google Translate, the game doesn't really need you. You just made the game more confusing for international fans. Now, I wanted to make this video because when Zayn's card came out, they called it Doomsday. Alright? It sounds bad. Doomsday sounds bad. Okay, you wonder what's gonna happen in the story. It's a little bit misleading, and a lot of people were like, Doomsday? What's happening? Is this an apocalypse game? What is he looks so soft? But Doomsday, it sounds really unsettling for me. The way that the translation will affect the response that Lovelies will have to the marketing of this game, especially if it's a widespread localization like English. Okay, now this was made showing that it's actually meant to be Doomsday game. I'm not sure if this is the original poster. This might be the original poster who put this up, but this is not supposed to be Doomsday. It's supposed to be Doomsday game, which gives a completely different feel to what this card is supposed to be. And this is not the only example that other people that she's or this user has put out. So fans thought that Silas can't swim because of the EN translation. Silas says in the Abyssal Chaos, I have an excuse and swimming isn't exactly my forte anyway. But the actual translation is I don't want to get myself wet just to walk less. That's a huge difference. And then people thought that Zayn was a rude guy. Alright, don't get too excited, her abs are disappointing. Honestly, when I read that, I was like, damn, Zayn is really sassy? Is he supposed to be like this? But the actual translation, he says that kids shouldn't look. Alright, he says that kids shouldn't be looking at that, it's not necessary. How did talking about her abs go from kids shouldn't look? It's crazy translation. And if Google Translate can do better than the EN translator, then why are we even relying on this translator anyway? Let's see. I can't find the screenshot in Chinese anymore, lost it somewhere, but the translator for Zaddy's reply is totally inaccurate. In Chinese, he says something like, "You will still have to face it sooner or later." He's not rude at all. Strict? Yes, but not rude. What is this? Between the results of a medical examination report and a theoretical exam, it seems someone is more nervous about the former. And then our reply is, "I've decided, please check it for me." And then he replies, "Here are 5 words for you. You will deal with it." Honestly, that gives off a whole different, like, imagine if a guy actually told this to you. I'm pretty sure, because this is just an animated person who doesn't really exist, quote unquote. Getting a reply like that is very off-putting. I think this is why a lot of people were not interested in being with Zayn in the US. The US? I don't want to say Western fan base. I know a lot of people's favorites were actually Raphael because he's much sweeter, and also Xavier is much sweeter, although Xavier can be a little bit sassy, and also Raphael, but not on the same level as Zayn, or how his translation is brought out from English, from CN to English. And then you just have, like, for senior players, you should have seen this more infamous rude words from him. Zayn, see, no one asked. I've actually seen this one. It's crazy. Now other people is telling me that the mistranslation is not wrong, and that's how you localize goes to suit the market. I never know EN speakers like rude guys. In the group I joined, people actually dislike him for being mean. See what I'm saying? Like, localization needs a rework because there is a difference between being mean and being sassy to the MC. Am I saying that Zayn hasn't been my favorite love interest before Silas came out? No, because he was my favorite love interest. I liked his sweeter side, but his mean side really does get a little bit too sassy. And it's just with the localization. It doesn't translate well to like the nuanced conversations that people actually have. You know what I'm saying? Like, the localization needs work. It really, really does need work. But I don't understand why people aren't talking about this more. The localization for the other characters too might be off, but I don't know if that's the case because nobody talks about these kind of things. And the translation might be off as well. And if we start seeing these translation errors in the marketing more widespread, especially when you're talking about banners or poll systems or, the rules and disclaimers of the game, then that's when people are going to really start having a problem. And I fear that that's the only time people are going to say something about this. Because in reality, if you think about the character that Zayn is, or that Silas is in Chinese in the native language, and think about the character that's portrayed in the EN side of the English side, it's like we're experiencing two different guys. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's technically supposed to be the same character. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm making this a big deal. I really don't think I'm making this a big deal because this is something that should be fixed now before something bad happens in the future. You know what I'm saying? Oh, gosh. But that is all. That's all of my opinions right now on this, especially the localization, the mistranslations, and the miscommunication from the translations. So that's about it. Tell me what you lovelies think down below. If you think I'm blowing this out of proportion, please explain why I'm blowing it out of proportion, because I would like to have a conversation about this. This is something that I think needs to be worked on, especially if you want the fan base to grow on the Western world, But yeah, Thank you all so much for watching. If you like my video, please leave a like down below, and if you disagree or agree with me, leave a comment too. Like I said, I want to have a conversation about this. Thank you all so much for watching. I am Lynn, the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. Bye bye now.